You are pinned to a stone wall, both arms chained. Your body is barely the size of a child's. Green skin, yellow eyes. You are a goblin. And the woman standing in front of you, robes white as snow, smile sharp as a knife, is called a holy maiden. She tilts her head, reaches into her coat, pulls out a vial of something black and bubbling. Let's see how goblins react to poison, she whispers, and she smiles. She forces it down your throat. Your body screams, every nerve on fire. You hit the floor, the world spins, and through the haze of pain, one thought cuts through everything else. This is the second time you've died, and you asked for it. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning. So the story started in a goblin den where the chief of the goblins died for some reason, and the other goblins began fighting over the throne, who would be the new chief. They were fighting each other in rage, but they remembered that there was still a prey they had left to devour. So they decided to go there, but they were stopped because there was a different type of goblin who was guarding that prey. So they all decided to work together and snatch the prey from that goblin. Still, the different goblin heard a call for help, so he rushed there to help and saw that a girl was being attacked badly by some goblins. So he asked those goblins to let her go, in which the goblin replied that the prey was him. So he did not want to give him up, and they rushed towards him to attack. Somehow he was frustrated because he could not fight them at that time, but still he realized that he could not die there, so he fought back with what he had. The other goblins got scared because the only goblin who had a weapon was him. So after saving the girl, the goblin let out a sigh of relief. Even the girl thanked him for protecting her from those goblins. And she even asked him not to die, as he was the only different type of goblin she saw among that group of goblins, hearing which the goblin felt sad because he was once a human too. It was revealed that when the goblin chief died there, on the other side, the protagonist of the story got hit by a car in another world and was sent to this world with a system. But the system had not activated yet, and his stats were too low. Because in this world, goblins are low-level creatures who are beneath everyone, as the world was created by gods who have powerful monsters and humans. So his stats were even lower among those goblins, and his name was Lintian. Lintian knew that for him to become stronger was the only way, and that was to stay close to the girl, but due to being a human before he was not able to act freely around girls. Even after becoming a goblin now, Kellia made him feel better by saying that she would ask the Night Order to rescue him along with her, as he was different, so he could live there properly with others. He felt happy thinking that maybe it was possible. Suddenly the goblins again rushed towards their area, so he asked Kellia to hide first. But there, he heard those goblins shouting that some strong human had come there and was killing them. So he got scared, but still realized that those humans must be the knights who came to save her. The girl got happy and rushed forward to see which human came to help her. She saw that it was Loder, a knight who had the class of swordsman, who came to save her. Even Lintian was surprised to see Loder's stats, as they were too high. When Kellia happily went towards Loder to meet him, Lintian felt that she was going to be attacked by Loder, so he saved her somehow. Kellia was surprised and even amazed how a human could attack another human when they came to rescue her. Actually, Loder was furious because he thought Kellia was badly harmed by those goblins, so it was now their duty to kill that girl because it was a sin for a human life to live like that. Kellia tried to say that she was not harmed by the goblins, as the goblin who was standing next to her had saved her somehow. But Loder did not believe, and then went to attack the goblin. Lintian was now tense, because he had no option other than fighting back, so he went to fight. Suddenly, out of nowhere, someone cast magic on him, and Lintian got saved from Loder's attack. Then a holy maiden came in front of all of them. Seeing her, Kellia got happy, and asked her to save her. She first asked Lintian if he could understand her words. Lintian saw that the girl was maiden Ifreya, so he decided to reply. When he spoke with her, Ifreya got happy that there was a goblin who was much smarter than others. So she asked him to go with her as she would help him and study him before making a decision. So he got ready willingly to go with her. The moment he moved forward with her, the girl got killed by Loder behind. Realizing this, Lintian got fully scared and was thinking what just happened in front of his eyes. Suddenly, the holy maiden Ifreya started acting strange and had a devilish smile, telling that Lintian could repay her later. The The scene then shifted to later, where it showed that the human village was having a meeting where Loder shared what happened last week, and hearing it, the people started getting furious, shouting that they should take revenge like blood for blood with goblins and so on. They also said they should take revenge for the harmed villagers. Loder acted like a pure goddess protector who would save whoever followed the temple and so on. In the nighttime, it showed that Ifreya was praising people for being so foolish and devoting to the temple without thinking much. But there, it showed Lintian, who was tied on a wall and was in a very weak position. He was cursing her, seeing which Ifreya was surprised that Lintian was still alive despite being a goblin. He had strong vitality. There, she again went to experiment on him. As for the past 1 week, she was doing different types of experiments to study goblins. This time, she made him take some poison to check how goblins react to poison. Upon which Lintian was shouting at her holy order about how she treats humans and gives justice. Suddenly, she stabbed his mouth with a rod, asking him to be quiet as Kellia was influenced by him, and so he could not say such things. Moreover, goblins were nothing more than vermin for them, the humans. And so she started laughing in a devilish way and praised Lintian for being a useful thing for human society, like an experiment. He again got attacked by her with some spell, after which he started wondering whether he was going to die. He was thinking that it was all his fault for being reincarnated into a goblin and then trying to trust humans, which was his biggest mistake and also became his weakness. And now he was going to die after being played with for a week by a girl who was known for her justice. He was just hoping that if he could do it again, then he would never trust humans and would surely take revenge. Just when he was thinking like that and hoping for it deeply, suddenly he got teleported to a different place. He started wondering how he was alive and where he was standing. Suddenly, a screen popped up in front of him, telling that due to everything he went through and what he did before, he was going to die, and so he had an option to restart and begin a new life. So whether he wanted to accept it or not, Lintian realized that the personal system activated only after death, and so he could return to his life and then take revenge. The system would decide. So first, before accepting, he asked what yes and no would do. He got to know that if he chose no, then his soul would fade away and he would die, and if he chose yes, then he would keep his current memory and be sent back to the time when he was reincarnated in the Goblin Cave. Hearing it, he started smiling and felt very happy that he would return to his life 1 week ago, and even with all his memory still with him. He realized it was a chance for him to take revenge on Loder and Ifreya, so without thinking, he clicked yes, and then he started getting sent back to the Goblin Cave again. Now his Goblin 2.0 life began, and he got sent back to 1 week ago. With this now, he had a whole system called Goblin Life Simulation System, through which Lintian could simulate his life with whatever he wanted by seeing future events. He started it immediately, and then he started getting warnings also that Loder and his men were coming to kill the goblins. So this time he got 3 options, which were he could warn his fellow goblins and unite to face Loder and his men. Second, he could leave them, or third, he could hide, for which he got different points 10, 5, and 0. He started wondering about it, like what to do, as if anyone would choose goblins to fight back, he could not win, and hiding would also get him killed. So leaving others would be a safe option. But still, the points were more important for him right now, so he decided to first run, to check what would happen as he would earn 10 points. So upon choosing that option, he got to know that he would get killed at last, because goblins were not strong compared to Loder. Still, after earning 10 points, he opened the exchange shop, but because of the points being so low, he could only choose a dagger, which was exactly 10 points. After choosing the dagger, his power increased a little, but now he had to choose for the future. But first, he asked about Kellia and what happened to her. The system said that Kellia was not captured in this timeline, and so she was happily living in the village, hearing which he felt happy that his promise with her was fulfilled now, so he should escape this time and survive. He decided to go from the back side because it was smaller and guards would not be there, but at the entrance, there were 2 guards who were talking about their work, as they had to kill any girl who would try to escape from the chaos. On this, Lintian decided that he had to make a plan, as first he would fight, but by using some tricks. There, he decided to shout like a girl to ask for help, and once the knights would hear it, they would surely come. So the same happened as the guards tried to lure the girl out to kill her with a trick. But to their shock, Lintian came in front of them and killed one of them with that knife. The other guard was not able to see the goblin, but when he saw that his partner was not moving, he went towards him to ask what happened to him. But there he saw the goblin and got scared. Lintian rushed towards him and gave a slash to him. He got injured and fell on the ground. There, he started asking him to spare him as he had a family and a daughter. So he knew that the goblin was looking smart as he could talk, so he must understand about his family. He even tried to give Lintian some bribe for leaving him, and could also offer him some girls. But while talking, he saw that the goblin was distracted, and so he tried to kill Lintian in anger. But Lintian was too fast for him, and easily killed that guard without any problem. Suddenly, Lintian heard Loder's voice, so he realized they were chasing him. So he ran from there, taking one guard's clothes. When Loder and Ifreya came there, Loder was surprised that the guards were killed. Ifreya analyzed that a goblin who could kill those two guards must be a mutant. Loder thought it was a problem, as a mutant goblin could be dangerous. But again, Ifreya with a devilish smile was thinking something else, as she was hoping about what fun she could have if she caught the goblin and played with him. The scene then shifted to the nighttime, where Lintian was a little relieved because somehow he survived. There he got an apple to eat, and while eating, he was thinking that goblins have the trait of growing through mating and devouring, so he would improve his stats by gaining power and make every woman fall under his control. But suddenly, he heard some voice coming from one side. He thought that it must be Loder and his men, so he decided to rush first to kill them. But to his surprise, there was another goblin, but this time it was a girl goblin. He was surprised as the goblin really had a girl body with all the female features. He was confused because there were no female goblins ever heard of before. That was why they always hunted human girls. He was even surprised that the girl could talk like humans, just like him. So upon checking, he saw that she was a goblin of level 3 who had a class of God's messenger. But the biggest thing he saw was that if a male goblin meets her, then that goblin would become the legendary goblin god. Seeing that, he was stunned and realized that if he met her, then he would become a goblin god. The goblin girl Yue started asking him to leave her, as she had just come to fetch some water, and if she did not return, then her chief would kill her. Lintian apologized and tried to pat her, but she got scared. Still, he gently calmed her and asked her not to cry, otherwise Loder and his group would come. Yue was surprised and came closer to Lintian, looking at whether he could really talk. She was happy seeing that someone else could talk like a human, and felt glad that Lintian was treating her gently. But during that talk, Lintian got to know that there was a goblin tribe where she had to go. So he decided to go there and make some of them follow him. For that, he put his hand on her shoulder and asked her to take him there. She got flustered at that moment and was blushing a lot. But on the other hand, Lintian was just happy because now he could get some followers. When Lintian reached their tribe, the other goblins saw him and started talking that Lintian was a strange creature and why such a weak girl brought him to them. Lintian told them that he came to join them, so he wanted to meet their leader. But the goblins started laughing that a low creature like him could not meet their boss, and so they were going to attack him. But Yue came in between and shouted that Lintian was not a bad guy, so they should not attack. Till then, the tribe boss came there and asked why they had all gathered and why there was so much noise. When the chief came, Lintian saw that the chief was a big goblin of level 25 who had a special class. And seeing his high stats, Lintian felt a little tense. The chief goblin asked the tribe what they were doing with the outsider Yue brought back. Yue replied yes, as she brought him because he wanted a tribe to stay in. Hearing this, the other goblins started getting happy, thinking that they got meat to eat. They pushed Yue away and rushed towards him to attack, but Lintian took out a knife and told them that he could make some weapons for them and make them stronger. Hearing this, the chief stopped everyone and then went near Lintian and asked what type of weapons he could make. Lintian said that he could make simple iron tools if they would find him some iron ore. Even while talking, Lintian noticed that the chief could also talk very well. So that meant the higher the level of a goblin, the smarter they were. But hearing about the tools, the goblins started getting happy because the more they could kill humans and even elves, they could get more meat. So the chief gave 3 days time to Lintian to make some tools, otherwise he would kill him along with her. After that, everyone left from there. Lintian realized that the chief was too mad, so he could not face him directly with his current strength, and he had to buy some time to become stronger. The next scene showed that the goblins were walking to find some ore nearby. Yue got tired and she asked them to wait, on which the goblins started beating her. She was apologizing, but they were not listening. At that time, Lintian threw a stone at them from behind and told them to find iron ore, otherwise, if they did not find at least one piece, he would kill them. Seeing the weapon in his hand, the goblins started running from there to find the iron ore. After the goblins left from there, Yue said that what the goblins told was true, and even if he made the tools, he would get killed by the chief. At that time, Lintian remembered about the bond with her, which could help him become a powerful goblin. So he went towards her and asked her not to cry, and if she stayed with him, he would protect her from others and even give her food and a place to stay. She felt happy hearing it, but for that, Lintian said that he needed her help. Yue curiously asked how they both could become stronger. Lintian said that if they had children together, they both could become stronger. She got flustered hearing it and shyly said that she had never tried before. Lintian said that it was fine if she was willing, and then he kissed her. And there they stayed together because she wanted him to become stronger and to support him. While being together, he got a notification that he would have 7 children with Yue. And due to his talent, he gained some attack points and defense points. So finally, he reached level 7 Goblin, and his maximum level became 17. This time, Lintian could feel a surge of power inside himself, and even his body became better than before. There, Lintian told her that he would protect her for life now. Hearing this, Yue felt very happy, but till then, they heard the goblins shouting for help. On looking, Lintian saw that the goblins had found iron ore near the valley, but they also brought some trouble, as a big wolf came behind them to attack them. Just when the wolf was about to kill that goblin who had the ore, Lintian stepped in between and killed that wolf with his knife. Seeing this, the goblins got scared. Lintian then went close to them and asked them to give him the iron ore. Lintian felt happy getting the iron ore, as now he could make some good weapons with it. But the fact was that Lintian's body was now starting to look like a human, and only his goblin ears were left. In the next scene, it shows that Lintian had created a weapon and he killed one wolf with it, seeing which the goblins were surprised that Lintian really could make weapons and kill the magic wolves with them. Now the goblins started praising him more and more, but again the chief came in between and was very happy about it. So he said that if Lintian wanted to stay, then Lintian had to make 50 of these weapons in 2 days. Hearing this, the goblins realized that their boss was getting harsh again since he had human traits. Still, Lintian agreed, and on the night of the delivery day, when Lintian gave the 50 weapons, which were all spears, the goblins were getting happy and shouting Lintian's name. But their chief came and praised him, and then asked him to join the feast. After that, when the feast was served, Lintian got a piece of meat to eat. The moment he ate that meat, he started acting strange and fell on the ground. At that time, the chief came and started laughing, saying that Lintian was very foolish for believing him that he would let him live. The chief even said that he already knew Lintian was trying to challenge the authority of the tribe. That was why now he was going to punish him by hurting Yue, as she was the one he cared about. But just when the chief was about to cut her head, out of nowhere, he got attacked by Lintian. The chief was surprised at how Lintian could move. On this, Lintian said that the chief was the one who was foolish. Deep down, Lintian already knew this from his system, so he was just acting along. Just when the angry chief rushed towards Lintian to attack him, Lintian dodged it easily and then killed him without much thinking. Now the chief was dead, so Lintian announced that from that day, he would be the new boss of the tribe, and he would let the tribe attack the elves and attack the humans and do whatever they wanted. Hearing this, the goblins felt very happy and started cheering his name loudly. Then Lintian told all the goblins that they could enjoy the feast. Next day, those goblins started eating their food, and now Lintian's next goal was to make the elves help their tribe grow a stronger next generation, because his present aim was complete. But all this was secretly seen by an elf who was watching the goblins closely. That elf named Kasana rushed towards her elf town and went straight to the queen's room. The guards tried to stop her, but she did not hurt them and said that she had urgent news to report. Without thinking, she entered inside the room and got embarrassed seeing that the queen was having a different kind of private moment in her room. So she was about to leave, but the Queen Cassandra asked her to wait and tell what she came to share. Kasana said that the goblins were on the move, as they were now getting stronger and defeating the holy bears and other beasts with their own hunting style. And she also saw that the old chief of the goblin tribe was killed by a young goblin. So Cassandra felt happy hearing that a new chief had come, which meant they now had to clear out the goblins to make them fear the elves. But she still told Kasana to leave some goblins alive because the potions made from them were a good tonic for the male elves. Hearing this, Kasana again got embarrassed. This time, Cassandra offered Kasana a male elf as a reward, but Kasana left from there because she was not into such things and felt very shy about it. On the other side, Lintian was showing how the new weapons worked to the goblins. The goblins shared with him about the number of tree houses in the elf territory. As there were 30 elf areas, so Lintian told all the goblins that they could take 2 elves each after they conquered them. The goblins got very happy, and soon they decided to take over the elf territory. But Lintian was calculating the situation. As for the reward he needed, at least 70 elves. Moreover, he had to make the goblins more powerful, and for that he decided to go into the enchanted forest to hunt monsters. And there the goblins along with Lintian started killing those monsters to gain new skills. And after killing many monsters, they got different types of skills, and now their overall power was around 250 for each goblin, whereas Lintian was now more powerful than before. Now, since the elves had a power of only 200, and the goblins had passed them, they could now launch a raid on the elf territory. But still, Lintian had to be careful, and for that he started his system simulation. There, he got to know that despite his strong army, when he would move towards the elf territory, the elves would trap them by leading them into an ambush. So Lintian realized that if someone was controlling the whole plan, then someone must be spying on them. So, since goblins had strong hearing and smell skills, he used his power to sense others nearby. Finally, when he sensed them, he asked the goblins to rush towards them. On the other side, Kasana and some of her subordinates were running back to inform their town that the goblins were about to attack. They were stopped in between as they got hit by arrows and all fell on the ground. Kasana realized that she was not able to use her strength. At that time, Lintian was there and told that she could not move as the goblin larvae had a strange power. Lintian then asked the goblins to take all the elves they had found there. Next in the goblin territory, Lintian went near Kasana and saw her helpless situation. He realized that the goblin flute really had some strong effect on female creatures. But at that time, Kasana was defending herself and shouting that how goblins could kidnap a princess. As if it was not her mother's kindness, they all would have been killed by the elves long ago. On this, Lintian laughed and asked what kind of kindness, because the elves she was talking about and the elves his subordinates talked about were very different. Moreover, his subordinates might be foolish, but they would never lie. And if they talked about goblins getting wiped out, then there must be some reason for not doing it fully. It was not just because of kindness. And for more answers, he said that he would go to the elf tribe and find out the real reason behind it. Lintian then ordered the goblins to go and devour the other 2 dead elves they had found while capturing them. And for Kasana, he looked at her with a different gaze from which she got scared and realized that she was going to be controlled by him. Finally, Lintian took control over an elf, and he reached the level cap of 30 and his ability increased, and he also gained a skill of stealth from elves and night vision too. The scene then shifted towards the Queen Cassandra, where she was also spending time with other elves, and was not happy with them, and was thinking about capturing more goblins for her own use. Till then, one male elf came there and shared that Kasana had not returned yet, and so he also suggested that they should go and kill some goblins, thinking that Kasana was captured. Cassandra got ready for it, but before the male elf could go back, Lintian shouted that Kasana was not going to return and shot an arrow into that male elf's head. Cassandra was surprised that goblins had come there. Lintian then shared that Kasana was captured and would now carry his child in the future. Cassandra angrily stood up and shouted, asking what he had done to her daughter. And so she rushed towards Lintian to attack, but Lintian easily dodged it and told her that her tribe was already surrounded by them. So he told her to surrender and he would spare everyone. Suddenly, Cassandra started feeling strange as her body was not working. At that time, Lintian spoke about the liquid on the arrow she had touched, and that was why she was not able to move. Also, finally, Lintian got to know why the goblins were spared by her for upgrading his warriors and making potions. And now it was time for the goblins to settle the score. At that time, Cassandra realized that the new chief was really very smart and felt tense about what he would do to her. Suddenly, someone shouted about killing someone. So Lintian told Cassandra to decide fast what she was going to do. He took her to the window and showed her the scene. She was shocked to see that all the male elves were dead, and the female elves were captured by the goblins. She felt very furious at Lintian, but Lintian gave her the option that when elves had the power, they killed goblins. So now it was time for them to take revenge, but still she could stay alive because he needed them to make his tribe stronger. So now everyone's life depended on how Cassandra would behave towards him. Cassandra started pleading with him to not kill her children and said she would do anything he wanted her to do, and she was even willing to carry his child by giving birth to them. Next morning, Cassandra and Cassana were kept in a single cage where they were very sad, and Cassandra was crying because she was thinking it was her fault for underestimating the goblins. But now, to keep every elf safe, she had to let the goblins mate and breed with them. It was the only option for them to survive. Lintian came there and asked Cassandra to stay inside the cage, and he would arrange their meals every day. Moreover, if they had any bad intentions, then he would kill them without any thinking. Cassandra agreed, but then asked if she could take care of the children, as they were all her children. Lintian realized that it was the strong motherly nature of the elves which made Cassandra ask something like that, but still he could see that Yue was not able to take care of all the goblin and elf children alone, so he agreed to let Cassandra help Yue in it. He decided to check his stats, and he was surprised to see that since he had a boost, his stats had gone up very high and reached the top level. And since his stats could grow after meeting stronger people, he also had to find more strong individuals to meet and grow further, and with this, a more powerful goblin lineage would be born. The scene then shifted to half a month later, where the elves started giving birth to goblin children, but some of them felt disgusted by their looks. Lintian got to know that they had around 30 to 40 newborns till now, but suddenly he heard Cassana crying in pain. He rushed towards her cage and saw that Cassana was having trouble giving birth. Cassandra asked Lintian to save Cassana because it was her first time and she was unable to bear the pain and might die. Lintian asked her to stay calm as he was going to help her like a healer for some time. Cassandra was surprised that Lintian knew how to do it, but still Cassana was resisting. Still Lintian shouted and asked Cassana to stop resisting, as those children were also his. Finally, Lintian was able to help deliver the children with his skills, and Cassana was also safe. At that time, Lintian heard an elf asking the goblins to let her go and trying to resist. Actually, the goblins were going to force her again to have more children, but this time Lintian came there and beat those goblins in anger. He shouted and asked everyone to wait until the elves were fully recovered. Until then, there would be no breeding. Moreover, the elves would get extra portions of food. Cassandra was amazed by Lintian, as he was really different from ordinary goblins. Lintian said that everyone would be treated equally if they behaved well, and now it was time for him to decide about revenge, because the tribe was going to grow fast and become more powerful, so he had to decide it. He checked the scenarios again, where he got 3 choices. That one, he could take action and try to kill Loder with others. Second, he could let the goblins take revenge and destroy the town. Third was to wait and see if the timing was right or not. Thinking about these, Lintian thought that his strength was now almost equal to Loder, so it would not be very hard for him to kill Loder. So he decided to look at the first option, but in that scenario, he saw that the Sword Saintess would come in between and save Loder, due to which even after gaining nothing, Lintian would get killed by her. After that, Loder would leave the town. Now Lintian felt tense, because he was wondering why such a strong fighter would appear in such a small place, and once Loder left the town, it would be hard for him to find him again, so he needed to act fast. Suddenly, he saw some apples in the hands of some elves, and thought of a plan. So he went towards Yue and said that he was going to the human territory. Until then, Yue had to take care of the goblin tribe. But Cassandra stopped him and asked him not to go, as if he got discovered in the human territory, he would be killed. Lintian said that he had revenge to take, so he had to go. But still, Cassandra did not want to let him go because he might get caught if he was seen. So she offered to cast a stealth spell on him so that he would not be noticed. Lintian smiled because he was waiting for this moment. He then asked why Cassandra was caring about him so much. Cassandra said that she was doing all this because without him, the goblins would become more cruel to them, and all the children were part of her life, so she had to protect them. After that, Lintian finally moved towards the human territory, and there Yue asked him to take care of himself. And Lintian said that he would come back soon without wasting time. In the next scene, it showed that Lintian was in Brighttown and had been there for a few days listening to people's conversations, but still he had not found anything about the reason for the Sword Saint arriving in the town. Suddenly, he saw a board where he checked the ranks of the teams and found that Loder's team had reached the #1 position. So Lintian decided to hurry and find out about the Sword Saint now, otherwise it would be too late for him to take revenge on Loder. Moving ahead, he saw an inn where he heard Loder's voice from outside, so he decided to go inside. Inside the inn, Loder's team were talking about how they had killed the 4-armed ape alone, but some other groups there started mocking them for just showing off about killing such a small monster. A heated argument started between them. The bartender said that the dragons on Dragon Island had entered their breeding season, so if those hunters thought they were strong, they should go and fight them instead of causing trouble in the inn, because if the dragons attacked Brighttown and help did not arrive on time, then all the adventurers together would not be able to fight them. But Loder told everyone not to be afraid, as the Sword Saint was already on the way to Brighttown, and since she was his master, he would join her to kill the dragon. Hearing that Loder knew the Sword Saint, everyone got shocked and started saying that if it really happened and Loder succeeded, then he would become the hero of Brighttown. Loder stood up and said that he would treat everyone in celebration, but then he saw a strange person leaving the inn, so he asked him to stay and have a drink. It was Lintian, so he simply refused and said that they would surely meet again soon. Loder found it very strange. The scene then shifted to a few days later where Brighttown was welcoming the Sword Saint, and Loder went to meet her saying that the dragons were getting closer, so it seemed like Brighttown would be attacked soon. Finally, the Sword Saint came into the scene as she asked Loder whether he was able to do the work she had given him. Loder replied yes, as the 10 dragon-slaying crossbows she had asked for were made and placed at different high points around the town. The Sword Saint then came out of the mansion and saw that many people were making noise outside, so she angrily told Loder to clear the path quickly without wasting time. He replied, yes. Suddenly, in the next scene, it showed that the people were getting attacked by a dragon. Seeing this, the Sword Saint realized that it was a scout dragon, so the other dragons would surely come soon. At that moment, she asked Loder to bring his team, and then they had to move towards the wall. On the other side, one goblin soldier came rushing towards Lintian and told him that the dragons were already in Brighttown, and the soldiers were going to defend the town, so what should they do now? Lintian laughed there and told all the goblins to just stand and watch the show that was about to happen in front of them. Now, without any delay, the dragons attacked Brighttown, but the Sword Saint named Alice showed everyone how to use the crossbows, seeing which people felt confident and started loading them thinking they could fight back. And it was working as the dragons were getting injured by it, but suddenly the sky started acting strange and normal people began feeling confused and lost. Even Loder and Ifreya felt tense, wondering what was happening. Suddenly, a purple golden dragon appeared, and it was the leader known as the Mother Dragon. Those crossbows were not working on the Mother Dragon. In between, the Mother Dragon attacked the wall of the town, so people started running. But then Alice came in between and told everyone not to worry, as she would defend the city. She used her sword power to create a barrier which stopped the attack. Seeing all of that, Lintian was amazed at how the Mother Dragon was so powerful, like a real monster. But Alice also had strength that felt just as strong. So Lintian felt glad that he was not fighting either of them. Now the fight between Alice and the Mother Dragon was going on. Lintian thought this was the perfect chance, so he told all the goblins to attack now. On the other side, Loder was somehow fighting the dragons with his power. But suddenly, he heard people shouting that goblins had invaded the city. He got shocked hearing that, but it was already too late. Loder told the other guards to hold the dragons somehow, as he was going to deal with the goblins. He also told Ifreya to come with him. But on the way, Ifreya got attacked from behind and was captured. Even Loder started feeling dizzy as he was hit by goblin arrows. Just when other guards came to help Loder and Ifreya, Lintian came from behind and started attacking those guards. He then mocked Loder and Ifreya, on which Loder angrily shouted that he would kill all the goblins. Lintian told him to be careful before speaking and then knocked him unconscious. Then he told all the goblins to take Ifreya and Loder through the sewers outside the city. Seeing all of this, Alice was confused about how the goblins dared to launch such a surprise attack. The Mother Dragon then came forward in her human form and asked what was going on, as it seemed the people of the city were already busy dealing with their own problems. Alice and the mother dragon now stand face to face in a legendary clash, while in the shadows, Loder has turned Brighttown into pure chaos. With Raka and Ifreya in his control, it feels like everything is going his way, but the Sword Saintess is still a big threat he cannot ignore. Now the real question is that what will Lintian do next? Will he join hands with the mother dragon to crush the humans, or will he play both sides and take the city for himself? He may not be the strongest yet, but as we've seen, his real power is his mind. So, what do you think is going to happen next? Will Lintian betray the dragon, or is he planning something even darker for Alice? Drop your theories in the comments, as I want to see who guesses it right, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss the next part, where the weakest goblin starts changing history. See you in the next story.